what happens in these mediums, which you are now exploring, is we go on live sooner than we expect. And what's so wonderful is we never know who in the world at what time is actually watching me and the Freddie Ravel. So Freddie, before I start speaking to you and we hear from you in what is going to be a very exclusive interview, please play your intro video.
Okay, that's perfect. And I just shot you over.
You are live as we speak. You're doing it.
All right, great. Here we go.
Our next speaker, he's going to show us the process for tapping the power of music. The things he's going to tell you have helped Google, Apple, IBM, NASA, as well as his collaborations with Madonna, Prince, Earth, Wind and Fire, Carlos Santana. Ladies and gentlemen, as we put our eyes to the screen, get ready for Freddie Ravel.
Ready.
Hey, Nadia!
I have to say, your technology is now on a whole new level.
Oh, yeah.
And he is playing for us live on this beautiful Thursday. Freddie, you have had this remarkable career. When I told my community that I was talking to someone who'd been the musical director for Earth, Wind and Fire, Carlos Santana, Madonna, etc., and who is now, they call you the Keynote Maestro. Tell us about the Keynote Maestro.
Oh, thank you, Nadia. Well, first of all, what an honor to be online with you right now and be part of your show. I love your work, Nadia. So thank you for inviting me, and greetings to all my new friends in the world of Nadia, you know. To be the Keynote Maestro, I'm very humbled by that expression that came from the mayor of the city of Los Angeles, who realized, you know, what we've been doing is I've been speaking and merging it with my work in the world of music as a performer, as a producer, as an artist. And about 20 years back, we discovered a very different way of looking at music, and that is to show people how there's a map where melody, harmony, and rhythm, the key foundation of music, can actually be used tools to inspire our daily interactions and the way we listen to each other on a day-to-day basis. So this is something that we call Life in Tune, and that is how that title was merged from the city of LA.
So up until around March 11th, 12th, you were doing this for large in-person audiences. So how have you transitioned from doing this on huge stages to a virtual world?
You know, it's funny, of course, like all of us, you know, I was looking at COVID as something that was, you know, a terrible thing, that is a pandemic, that is, you know, all the crisis that it's created. And I decided to start looking at COVID a little differently. I began to realize that the word co is really Latin for collaborate. And vid is Latin for the ability to see. That's why we have the word video, to see. So COVID, in a way, is like a new way for us to collaborate and see. Different way to look at it. And the way that was the first idea that occurred to me. And then I decided, well, let's see if we can bring the impact of what we've been doing in front of thousands of people for the last 2 decades in an intimate environment, which is where we are now. So I had a special desk that has been built, which allows me to stand. I can stand here in my studio, I can talk to you, and I can just pull out a keyboard like this, and I can, you know, basically play on this keyboard and do things and play.
So You're playing the piano, you're pulling in your slides, you're pulling in your video.
Yeah. And some of this footage is from work I did with Carlos Santana. So we have videos of when we performed in Morocco in front of 100,000 people. The video can come up and I can jam and play with that and show people the lessons that we can learn from the giants of music in a very different way. The behavior, the psychology, a different side of looking at music. And so what that has done, Nadia, is I find myself on virtual presentations now where we'll have literally 35 countries, on a Zoom call from all around, right? And I'll be able to speak with someone in South Africa and Tokyo at the same time. And I can hit the key on the piano and everyone's hearing it without delay, which is extraordinary.
But even that, you speak about the universal language of music. And I've enjoyed our interactions. I met Freddie through a mastermind group. And just every time you say something, it's so thought-provoking. Let's take a moment and think about the message of music to unite us.
Well, if you think about it, the music is the oldest language on the planet. Music, they just found a flute in a valley in Germany about two years ago, Nadia, that is 43,000 years old. It's made from a vulture's bone. It's a fossil, so they could accurately measure how old it is. And our use of the spoken word is about 5,000 years. Language, the way we use it to write and speak, it's not that old, 5,000. But music, tens and tens of thousands of years old. So my feeling has always been, how could we just be thinking about music as entertainment? Why not expand the definition of what music can serve? Why not expand this amazing tool that contains melody, harmony, and rhythm and link it to ways we can listen to our colleagues, listen to the world, listen to the challenges that we face, and use the concepts of harmony, rhythm, and how we manage our time, melody on how we sing and express ourselves. Why not take the world's oldest language and repurpose it to help us be better at communication?
Freddie, I know COVID-19 has been a very negative thing and it's a pandemic, but when I hear you speak like this, I'm going, this interview, having you on this platform would never have happened without COVID. And most of the people we could never have afforded to have you. So what's so remarkable is to have this time with someone of your, just vast experience and using music. And I love life in tune, just the concept of doing that. So it would be fantastic if you could take us through the kind of presentation, and you've said some of the principles you're sharing, but even anything experiential, like right now, whoever happens to be watching us right now, who's experiencing the trauma of the last few months and is looking to shift. What is Freddie Ravel's secret to shifting? And you wrote something, and I want to actually read it to you because I thought it was so good. So while you think about your answer to that, I just want to read this for a moment, because we said, are you ready for Freddie? And are you ready to be truly in tune to success? Today, our speaker will reveal the secrets and communicate powers of music to get in tune to what matters most, which has proven successful for his many clients, including, this is now what I got from the internet, Google, Prudential, Toyota, NASA, as well as his collaborations across 6 continents with Madonna, Prince, Lady Gaga, and rock legend Carlos Santana. So from the city of Los Angeles, if you are just joining me right now, dubbing him the Keynote Maestro, to his Grammy-nominated recordings, he presents Life in Tune to amplify your success. So here he is. If you happen to be just watching, I am having a live conversation with the Freddie Ravel. So Freddie, what can we be doing right now?
So thank you so much for that introduction, Nadia. If you think about the state of the world, right? Where were you standing, around the middle of March when we had this shutdown? It's almost like where, the world has been spinning, kind of like this globe that is spinning, and it's moving. And at some point when COVID hit, it came to a stop right there. And there we are in this pause of a world that just sort of froze for all of us. And the opportunity that I always thought was that we could take the stop and look at the pause as a gift. I tell people that the pause is something like the word positive, but you spell it P-A-U-S.
Okay, sorry, Freddie, you have to do that visual just once more. Take it and bring it up.
Sure. So we were at a point where the world is spinning, right? And life is moving, and we're in our rhythms, and we're doing our day-to-day. But at some point, we came to a stop. And when we came to that stop, we landed in what was deemed as the pandemic. But the other side of the coin, the silver lining, is that instead of it being positive, we can look at it as a P-A-U-S-E-I-T-I-V-E, how to stay positive. Using the pause and the space between the notes of life and music to help us see things that we've never seen before. So this is what inspired me to jump into bringing this presentation, the journey of music, a piano into the conversation so that we could use the aspects of music to talk about the way that we can actually connect.
Freddie, do you recognize the man behind me?
Yeah, that was me about 10 years ago.
Well, whatever you're doing, keep doing. So Freddie Ravel, we can reach you. You have a beautiful website with a lot of details about the kind of programs you're offering. You can do, on any platform for as many people. Thank you for bringing us some of your nuggets, really, because it's just so thought-provoking what you're doing, the way you're doing it, and just a pleasure to have this moment. I am curious, and I do like to ask my guests is, what's been the sweet and the sour for you of COVID? So the highlight has been you are now able to do this, thousands of people, instead of going to India and working with the Prime Minister and creating a program there, you can do it virtually. But what's been your biggest challenge?
Well, the biggest challenge, of course, has been I've been a live performer my entire life. I am used to feeling the energy of people right in front of me, and figuring out ways where we can connect and feel the same level of intimacy and the same level of impact has been a switch.
Yeah.
And I think all of us who are used to being in front of a live audience, that's been the hardest thing.
So, my advice and guidance to people is you and I had a connection on our thought leadership leverage call, and that was a connection. And it's very easy to see why you are so absolutely magnetic, but to have that connection and then have somewhat of a conversation today. And we just can't anticipate what that collaboration is. It's unquantifiable. But for me today, it's just been such a treat to introduce you to my world and my platforms. And a final thought as we leave on this Thursday in September the 3rd.
My final thought would be to ask everyone to think about every daily conversation they have and every interaction they have. Is there a level of listening that they're invested in? Are they thinking about what the other person is saying? Are they coming at life with a tone of empathy and compassion? That ability to put yourself in another person's shoes. If you can just take that piece away, and maybe the final idea would be if you know the word listen, L-I-S-T-E-N, and you just rearrange the letters around, you get S-I-L-E-N-T, silent. And if you can get your mind to just go right there, that way when a colleague, a relationship, your son, your daughter, your employee, your boss, your gardener, the man on the street, the woman on the street, every aspect of your life, you'll start to hear gifts that are coming to you, but you have to be silent to really experience it. And that's when the music of your life will truly be in tune.
Freddie Ravel, Life in Tune, Keynote Maestro. Please play us out if you can. Thank you so much for your beautiful time today.
It's my pleasure. You know what we're going to do for you real quick? We're going to do a little bit of Mozart. You know, Mozart has a beautiful piece that goes... But what we're going to do is we're going to make it a little bit spicy and put a little bit of hot sauce in it. So here it is.
Thank you, Freddie Ravel, for making our day. Brilliant. Thank you. Beautiful.
My pleasure. Thank you, Nadia.